Bonjour et bienvenue aujourd'hui. Comment allez-vous? J'espère que vous allez très bien. Donc, aujourd'hui, c'est le 6e jour, donc on avance chaque jour. Bienvenue, j'espère que vous faites des pratiques. OK, donc, qu'est-ce qu'on va faire aujourd'hui? So, what are we going to do today? And I hope you're practicing because that's the most important thing. What you don't practice really is not yours. So when you practice, you make it yours. So please make as many sentences as possible. As you learn the verbs, please explore new verbs that are conjugated in the same pattern. Try to conjugate them. Try to use them to make sentences. One thing I used to do then to help myself is I would conjugate the verb, so in 6 persons, and then I'll use each of them to make sentences. So that's it. I'll complete it. Use each of them to make sentences. So you could try doing that. It's very helpful. Don't just conjugate verbs. Don't just conjugate verbs. Use them to make sentences. That way it sticks. It sticks better. Okay, so today we'll be looking at the RE verbs. Les verbes on RE. So this set of verbs, we know them are the third group verbs. So the third group is characterized by what? By irregular verbs. So all verbs that are not able to fit into the first and second group are dumped in this group. All verbs that are not able to fit in the first and second group are dumped here. So we're going to be looking at them. Most people are afraid of this group. They say, oh, the verbs are so difficult, so irregular. I can't remember them. I can do this, but don't worry. It's French. It's verbs. It's just like in English. You would learn, you would practice, and you will perfect, and you will master them. So which is what we're trying to do here. So these parts, you have all sorts of verbs here, all mumbo jumbo verbs here. But there's a particular type of verb that follows a certain pattern, which is what we're going to look at today. Yes. So even when you look at all those verbs that are dumped here, some of them could just have like a few, maybe 10 or 20 that follow a certain pattern. Some could be 50 following a certain pattern. Some could be 2, yes, following a certain pattern, and some are just unique. Like faire, aller, they're just unique. They don't follow any pattern, they're just unique. Okay? So we're going to be looking at the ones that are a bit regular in this, the majority of the verbs here that are regular, the majority of them that are regular, we're going to be looking at them. So we have these verbs. These are not the only verbs, but I picked these ones out so we could practice with them. Okay? I know most of you are afraid of this verb. Attendre, vendre, descendre, entendre, perdre. And so we also have répondre there, the RE verbs. So these ones are regular. They kind of follow the same pattern. So we'll learn how to conjugate attendre today. You're going to know how to conjugate the rest, just applying the same pattern to the rest. So you see, they are kind of regular. Okay, so even in the third mumbo jumbo irregular verbs, you still have a set that's kind of regular. So that we're looking at today. Then after that, subsequently, we're going to be treating each verb. We'll pick those unique verbs that are essential that you really need to know. Okay, so it's like you're studying French and you say you don't know the verb être and avoir. Woof. Those are the first verbs you should learn. Then aller is a versatile verb. It's unique in its conjugation, and you can do a lot with it. Also, the verb faire. Don't worry. So in the coming days, we'll look at those two verbs. So for today, we're looking at this ones today. Okay, let's go. So the RE verbs, so these particular verbs I have selected, they have a certain pattern they follow. Okay, and don't forget to conjugate verbs, we will always remove the ending. So RE verbs, we will take out the RE from the ending to conjugate them. So here are the endings. So like we did yesterday, we're going to do the same thing. So this is our model verb. So I'm going to show you the ending, les terminaisons, and you are going to conjugate them. You're going to conjugate the verb in the chat box, okay? And so here is the ending. Oh, here are the ending. So for je, you have to add an S. Do that. For tu, you add an S. For third person, there's nothing. That's it. There's nothing there. Okay? And for nous, this is not ISON. This is not ISSON. No, no, no. This is not IR. So you just add ONS. Okay? ONS. For vous, you're adding EZ. And for the third person plural, you're adding ENT. I guess you're done at this point. Could you try reading the verb? So, did you sound like je perds, tu perds, il, elle, on perd, nous perdons, vous perdez, il, elle perd. If you sounded like that, then you're correct. Je perds, tu perds, il perd, nous perdons, vous perdez, il, elle perd. If that's what you read, then you are 100% correct. Clap for yourself. So that's good job. All right, let's look at the other verbs. So let's go with attendre, to wait. So as you know, once the verb begins, if the verb begins with a vowel, you have to contract. So this is basic, this is standard. So that's it. J'attends, tu attends, il attend, nous attendons, vous attendez, ils attendent, ils attendent. J'attends, nous attend, sorry, j'attends, tu attends, il, elle, on attend, nous attendons, vous attendez, il, elle attendent, attendent, attendent. Okay, let's go to the next verb, vendre. Please learn to read the verbs out loud. Learn to read them out loud. So we saw in the class yesterday that despite I took my time to read, telling you where it should sound, that it should sound S, not Z. So people were still reading Z. So that's it. So please read it out. Don't say, oh, I have heard. Okay, it sounds like this. No. Try to do the same thing. Are you able to make the sound correctly? Read aloud. Read aloud. This helps. Read aloud so your mouth gets used to the opening, okay? And your brain gets used to the sound. Your ears will hear them, okay? So that's it. So please always read aloud. Let's go vendre, to sell. Je vends, tu vends, il, elle, on vend, nous vendons, vous vendez, ils, elles vendent. Yeah. So if you look at this, you can actually make sentences with it. So you can say, je vends des tomates. Tu vends du pain? That's a question. Tu vends du pain? Il vend des chemises. Elle vend des piments. On vend des maisons. Nous vendons des vêtements. Vous vendez des sacs. Ils vendent des nourritures et elles vendent des poissons. That's it. Try to make sentences with them. You conjugate the verb in the sixth persons. Make sentences with them. Read it aloud. Write it. Your brain gets it. Your eyes get it. Your hand will also get it. Okay? That's it. Let's go to the next one. Descendre. To go down or to descend. Je descends. Tu descends. Il, elle, on descend. Nous descendons. Vous descendez. Ils, elles descendent. Je descends. Tu descends. Il, elle, on descend. Nous descendons. Vous descendez. Ils, elles descendent. Ça va? Let's go to the next one. Entendre. Entendre, to hear. J'entends. Tu entends. Il, elle, on entend. Nous entendons. Vous entendez. Ils, elles entendent. To hear. Okay. Oui, j'entends. Oui, I'm listening. I can hear. Oui, I hear you. Je vous entends. I hear you. Oui, je vous entends. I hear you. You can make sentences with them. Je vous entends. Tu m'entends? Can you hear? Are you hearing me? Tu m'entends? Tu peux m'entendre? Tu peux m'entendre? Can you hear me? So you can make sentences with them, okay? Make sentences with them, but keep it sweet and short, okay? Perdre, to lose. Je perds. Yeah, we did that already, okay? So I'm going to skip it. Répondre, to reply or to answer. Je réponds, tu réponds. Il, elle, on répond. Nous répondons, vous répondez. Il ou elle répondent. Please make sentences with them. Je réponds à ma mère. Je réponds, oui. To make sentences with them, please. Okay, so that's it. Use each verb in a sentence to reinforce the conjugation and meaning. This would help you. Please do not just conjugate and learn them in isolation. Use them to make sentences. So your sentences could be declarative, affirmative sentences, they could be negative sentences, they could be interrogative sentences, they could be exclamative sentences. Okay? So just use them to make sentences. So so use them to make sentences. I made the interrogative sentences. So, oui, when tu m'entends? That's a question. So make affirmative sentences and make exclamative, make negative sentences. No, je ne t'entends pas. Je ne t'entends pas. That's it. I just made a sentence too. So, okay, so I kick off that. I've done a lot, okay, so I'll still do this. Attendre. J'attends le bus tous les matins. J'attends le bus tous les matins. Tous les matins, j'attends le bus. So anyhow, I can tweak it. So adverbs are always either before, at the beginning of the sentence or at the end. So I can put it tous les matins, j'attends le bus. Or j'attends le bus tous les matins. Vendre. Ils vendent. Ils vendent des fruits au marché. Ils vendent des fruits au marché. Remember, I used all of them to make sentences. So please make yours. Use all the 6 to make your sentences. Say them aloud, write them. Please leave them in the comment section. I'm going to correct your sentences. I'm going to go there and give them hearts. Yes, that's when they're correct, you receive a heart. But when they're not correct, you're going to get a correction from me. So, descendre. Nous descendons l'escalier rapidement. Nous descendons les escaliers rapidement. Nous descendons les escaliers rapidement. Okay? You can make yours entendre. Vous entendez la musique? That's an interrogative sentence. Vous entendez la musique? Perdre. Ils perdent souvent les clés. Ils perdent souvent les clés. Répondre. Elle répond toujours aux questions en classe. Elle répond toujours aux questions en classe. So that is it. So please do not learn this conjugation. Don't go through this exercise of just conjugating verbs. That's not the idea, okay? The idea is that you learn the verbs, you know them, you conjugate them, and you use them to make sentences. That way you can reinforce the conjugation and meaning so that subsequently when you need to use them either in speaking or in writing, it will come effortlessly. Okay, so that's it for today. And that's the end of the class for today. And I'm sorry I would not be meeting with you in the WhatsApp group today because it's weekend and I have a lot on my plate. So please just leave your comments, your sentences here. I sure will correct them. But if I have the window in the evening, I'm going to go back to the WhatsApp group and reach out to you, okay? But get your sentences ready. I want to see sentences. That's what I want to see. I want to see sentences. I want to see you writing a little story. A little. You could write a little story using avoir, using être, using the ER verbs, using the IR verbs, and also using the RE verbs. So you see, we've done so much already. So in 6 days, we have covered so much. I hope you appreciate this and I hope you like it. So give me a heart, please. Give me a heart, please. Give me a like, please. if you are enjoying this like I am. Thank you, and I hope to see you in the next lesson. And bon week-end alors. Donc, on se verra demain. Passez alors une très bonne journée. Au revoir. Bye. Ciao.